Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for a little video. It's not a Blu-ray hunting video. I'll explain that in a minute. This is a bit of a difficult video for me to do. I thought I'd update everybody on the whole Bobbie situation though, because I didn't really explain everything of what happened. If any of you are not aware about Bobbie, it's our pussycat. She had to have her leg amputated just before Christmas, so she's been hopping around on 3 legs, and she was doing really well. She was doing really well. And it was probably about 10 days ago that everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. She was running up and down the stairs, back to her old self, doing all her usual stuff, and we thought, this is great. Her bum was growing fur over the wound, which was really good. The vet was fine, the vet was happy. We had to keep taking her back every now and again for a little checkup. And even Tuesday, this Tuesday just gone, so not even a week tomorrow, she was on my lap, she was on my mum's lap, and then within a couple of days after that we noticed she sort of like stopped eating. She wasn't eating. We put the smelly food down for her, she wouldn't eat it. She was well into the water, so she was okay with the water, and she kept laying down, in the corner of the room, under the table, and we thought, oh, it's just a little thing, because, you know, she's been in different places around the house. Some places that we thought that she'd run away, and she'd actually been underneath, like the chest of drawers, right at the back in a corner where you can't get to, but she likes her little spaces. So there were so many places in the house. So we took her to the vet on Saturday, as she wasn't really eating on the Friday. So we took her to the vet. They had a look at her. Her temperature was fine. She was a little bit pale when she did a mouth examination, but she gave her a painkiller, and some fluids in the back of the neck, and sent her home. And we already had an appointment booked for Sunday. Saturdays was kind of like an emergency, you know, we'll take her Saturday because we don't want to leave her until Sunday because she wasn't eating. So okay, she came home, and then the nurse told us she'd be a little bit drugged up a little bit with the painkillers, and she was laying down and everything, so that's fine. And kind of mum knew something was wrong, or we knew something was wrong with her eyes. She was just fixated like that, like staring into nothing, and you would wave your hand and something and she wouldn't move. She did lay down and she did jump down occasionally. This was the night we were watching Bohemian Rhapsody. She went to the toilet. She hopped out to the toilet twice, I think it was. I don't think she went, she tried to go. But I noticed when I went out to follow her that she had problems trying to get her back leg out of the litter tray. And it kind of shocked me, because when she got onto the floor, it's like she couldn't get her back leg up. And she kind of like pulled herself across the floor for about 1 metre with her front paws and just dragging her bum across the floor. And yes, there was definitely some signals there. But then she got her leg up and she went back in, and this was time to go to bed, went over to the wall. She sort of like laid down in front of the TV on a little blanket there, and we thought, okay, we'll leave her for now, because we knew that the nurse said that if she perks up, she had a little bit of food as well, some licky licks, so we were able to give her a little bit of licky licks on the Saturday night, and we thought that was good. That was a step up. So the nurse said if she perks up and starts eating, then keep then you can cancel the appointment and monitor her, and then maybe, because she was due to be seen this Wednesday as well, and if we had to make another appointment for Monday, then we would do so. But if she got worse or anything like that, then yes, go and take her up on Sunday. So I got up at about 7:30 Sunday morning, went downstairs just to see how she was, and she was like just inside the front dining room door, laying on her side, her eyes still pierced, facing, and she wasn't moving. So I was stroking her. She was still breathing. Occasionally there'll be the occasional like flutter, and I had to go to the toilet, so I went upstairs to go to the toilet. My dad had already then come back downstairs, and as I was upstairs I heard this loud meowing. Bobbie was never a meowing cat. She hardly ever meowed. I don't know if maybe that was something to do with like when she was a little baby. My brother said that she got hit by a car crossing the road or something. I don't know. But she was always a very quiet cat. She would meow to the other cats out the back, definitely. Bless her. Yeah, so then I came downstairs to find out what was happening, and Dad had picked her up and put her in her case, the plastic carry case thing to go, the plastic box to go, to the vet, because we had to go to the vet at 12 o'clock. And she was just laying there, and she wasn't groaning or anything that I remember, but her eyes were still fixated, and Dad was saying, I don't think she's going to make it until 12 o'clock. So this was like 9:30, 20 to 10, and the vet opened at 10 o'clock. So we said, well, we'll wait until 10 o'clock, then we'll make the call. We'll make the call and get her up there for 10 o'clock. And it was a little bit after that. From then, I went out the kitchen for 5 minutes. I was on my way walking back into the living room, and Dad said, she's gone. Sorry. Yeah. She was gone then and there. Of course, my dad had to go upstairs to tell my mum. She came down. Both of us were inconceivable. Is it uncontrollable? Kissed her and stroked her. And then we phoned the vet, and they said bring her up at like 11:45. Quarter to 12. So we all got dressed. Mum got dressed, and we all went up there, carried her up in the little case. And then we, had a chat with the nurse up there. She told us the procedures, of burial or cremation. We decided on cremation. We had Mowgli. They both came to us together, Mowgli and Bobbie, about 9 or 10 years ago, I think it was. They were both my brother's cats, and when he moved from Folkestone to Dover, because he didn't have a place, he was living in our house in the back bedroom, where the cinema is, strangely enough. That's right, I kicked him out to build a cinema. And we looked after the cats there, but then when he left, we thought, oh, they're kind of settled, so we'll have them for now. And we thought in the long run, let's just keep them there. They were right, they were in. So it was a bit unusual at the time, because we'd never had a physical pet. I mean, I'd had a goldfish that I won at the fair, which unfortunately my mum flushed down the toilet when it died when I was at school once. I remember running all the way home from school. You flushed Abraham, you flushed Abraham. Yes, but we never had a physical pet like a cat or a dog. I think really my dad didn't want us maybe to have pets growing up, because he had a dog when he was a kid, and it died, and it totally broke his heart. And I don't think he wanted to put that on us, for us to go through that. Maybe until we were older, and then we could make our own, minds up. But yes, we loved Bobbie and we loved Mowgli. Mowgli died in 2012. Strangely enough, February as well. It was February the 7th, 2012. And I did a little montage of Bobbie and Mowgli together on my videos. It's one of my very early videos when I first started YouTube. So if you go right back to the oldest videos, you'll find it there. I think it's Odes to Bobs and Mogs. I think that's what it's called. And at the time, I didn't really take a lot of video and photographs of Mowgli. I don't know why. Maybe it's because maybe I had not a very good phone at the time. It was probably one of those crappy flip-up ones. But it's not like you have now with the iPhones or the Samsungs, and you can just make movies and make memories, of which you'll see later tonight. Yeah, so there were so many memories of Bobbie and Mowgli. I mean, I remember a lot of memories of Mowgli, but they're kind of like, they're indistant, you know, because it's like time has gone by. When I think of Mowgli and the memories, it's not so emotional. It's kind of like happy memories, you know. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. Oh, that's lovely. I remember that. But it's not like stabbing you. It's not like emotional, because with Bobbie it is so sudden. That's the thing that I think hit us really hard. The fact that Tuesday she was perfectly fine and she was on her way to recovery, she was doing really well, and then within like 6 days, 5 or 6 days, that's it, she's gone. And it was, the vet said that when they got rid of the cancer on her leg, they thought they got it all. They were pretty sure they got it all, but obviously they keep monitoring her, but they couldn't give a guarantee that it might not come back or it might not spread, you know, at some point, and then they would deal with it then. So for it to happen so quickly like that, I mean, we've got questions, we don't know. For it to happen like within 48 hours, there must have been some conflict going on in Bobbie's body for it to shut down like that. Her back leg, and also that night on the Saturday night, I noticed when she was trying to stand up, kind of like her front two legs kind of buckled, kind of like her paws buckled under her, and she had to lay down. So it's like all her motor systems were going, like she was shutting down. Whether the cancer had actually spread to maybe her chest or her heart, or maybe the paralysis, you know, was to do with her brain, I don't know. We will never know. We will never know. They don't normally proceed with an autopsy, that kind of thing. I know it's a lot of money and we can claim on insurance, but I don't think, it's not something they do, you know, because it's kind of like, it's end of life. It's end of life for the pet. And I think it's just one of those things. She wasn't really that old. I think she was only about 12. So she wasn't an old cat, and she's had a really great life. She's had a great life. She's had a fantastic 9 or 10 years at our place. So many memories. And walking around the house, something reminds me, you know, something happens, or I flinch on some little memory, and it takes me straight back. You know, it's memories that maybe I haven't thought about. Little things that she used to do, like scratch the bathroom door for Mum. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. You know, she would like to be let into the bathroom, and I hadn't thought about that before. So there are other memories, lots of other memories. And the afternoon that we were without Bobbie, Dad started clearing up all the food containers, taking the little water thingies away. It's like, and you can look on that 2 ways. It's like, hang on a minute, you got to give us time to process it. I think probably that's my dad's way of processing it. He needs to be doing something. He needs kind of like closure, because I don't see my dad as a hugely emotional person, but that's from the exterior or from whenever I'm around. I don't know what else happens, maybe if I'm not there, or maybe he's not as emotional as some people. So yeah, I mean, as I say, Mum was crying buckets over Bobbie, or she was laying in a little casket, so was I. And that Sunday, probably every 10 minutes, I just couldn't handle it. I was just completely lost the plot, lost everything. That whole day, I never cried so much in my life. Now, I've lost relatives, you know, my auntie, my nan, my granddad. We've lost relatives, never to that emotional extent. Maybe it's because they're not living on top of you like 24 hours a day, and it's so intense like that. And at every moment you see love, and they, you know, it's I don't know if it's different. Maybe if it had been like a son or a daughter that you're constantly living with, that would probably be the same. And I do have my mum, I do have my dad, and I am blessed that I still have them in my life. But we're all getting older. My mum's not getting any younger, so at any time it could happen. It's going to be the same, if not worse. Probably a lot worse. Yeah, I suppose I'll have to deal with that when it happens. It's going to happen sooner or later. Who knows? But I am blessed that I have them in my life, and I'm probably not prepared for when they do go. And my brother as well. I mean, if any of us could go at any time. So no one knows. But I think it's because it was Bobbie, and it was such an unexpected shock. That's what it is. I've been in shock. I think I've been in shock, still in shock, for the last 48 hours. And I haven't accepted it. I've been bawling my eyes out in this car, barely walking around Tesco's. I had to come up and get something for later on, a snack for later on. And as far as the Blu-ray and DVDs concerned, I haven't even bothered going anywhere near the Blu-ray aisle on a Blu-ray shopping Monday. It was the last thing on my mind, and it is the last thing on my mind at the moment. And that's why you never got a Poundland bin. It's just there at the back of my mind at the moment. I'm focused on what's happening in front of me and trying to cope with this and trying to get through it. And it's not easy. It's really not easy. I'm sure any of you that have lost loved ones and lost pets know what it's like. You know what it's like. It affects some people one way, it affects other people another way. And there are some people that it's only a pet, but you don't know. If you've never been in the situation and you've never loved an animal, then how dare you? You know, you have no right to say it's only a pet. And I was reading earlier on, and also I was told by one of my viewers that the chemicals in the brain, the chemical structure in the brain, cannot determine the difference from an animal, a pet, or a human. They're both on the same level. It cannot determine, because you're so emotionally connected to both of those, whether it's human or pet. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel now. I feel absolutely emotionally drained and dead, to be perfectly honest. I feel so empty, and I didn't even want to get up this morning. I mean, I've taken a couple of days off work. There's probably people at work thinking, he's taking a couple of days off for a pet. See, it's the same thing. And I hate that. And I'm due on for work at 9 on Friday. So they've given me today and tomorrow off. And then I'm off Wednesday and Thursday. So it might ease a little bit. I'm not going to completely get over it in a bloody week. It could take months, it could take a year, it could take years. But I'm hoping it will get easier, and I'm sure it will get easier. And the sudden frustration and the sudden anger and emotion, I hope, subsides, and it's happy memories that come through, and just happiness of Bobbie. And it was only a little while ago me and Mum were commenting now that she's, got her leg back, she's on 3 legs, she's doing really well, that we were really looking forward in the spring to getting out the back garden on that bench and for her to coming out, because she hasn't been out there since last summer. She always comes out with us for a coffee in the summer. So the first time that we go out there, when the weather warms up and we go and sit on that bench, we're going to realise it. We're going to realise it, that she's not going to come through that back door. And that's heartbreaking. So yeah, I hope you understand why there hasn't been any videos, any Pound bin or Blu-ray hunting. It's too early. It's too early for me. I mean, I'm hoping we can start to kind of get back to a little bit of normality next week. See, the thing is, if we'd done the Blu-ray hunting, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. My heart wouldn't be in it. And I don't want to deliver that kind of message, that kind of video. So yes, I hope you understand. I hope you've now realised exactly what's happened, and you've got a better picture of what Bobbie's been through, what we've been through, and how it went from really good to really bad. Blimey. Yeah, and a lot of people are like, they go out, they buy another pet, they go and buy another pet a week after, or 2 weeks after, a month after, or maybe a year. But I think probably from my dad's point of view, that's it. I mean, you don't want to replace the pet. You want to be able to give loving companionship to another creature, another animal. And that's the reason why if one animal dies, then after a certain amount of time, when it becomes easier, you're ready to move on, and you're ready to move on to give more love to another animal and have another animal in your life. It would never be the same as the previous ones, but it will just be different. And I think with my dad's thinking, well, sometimes my dad struggles with my mum having to take her to the doctors 3 times a week, and my mum's not getting any younger with her walking and breathing, although she's backwards and forth to the doctors and that. So I don't know. So I mean, my mum is 80 in next year, so let's hope. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel like wanting another pet. Whether I see that sometime in the future, I don't know. It's not something that I'm even possibly thinking about at the moment. Lulu and Claire, I was on the phone to Lulu last night. She was tearing up. I needed somebody to talk to that wasn't mum and dad, and someone that understands, because she had a cat. We had a cat, Pandora, that she died as well years ago. And Maya ran away from our house because we took in Maya, their cat, ran away from our house for 1.5 years. And then all of a sudden we got a call out of the blue because of her microchip. Please microchip your dogs and your cats. It makes all the difference. And we got a call from a vet in Folkestone that someone from the barn in the hills about 2 miles away had taken the cat in. And it was Maya. And I swear you, the day that Lou and Claire went to pick her up, because I was at work, she looked amazing. Her fur, her coat was glossy. It's amazing being out in the wilderness like that. So yeah, they took her back to home. She was a bit feral to start with, but as soon as they got her settled down at their old house in Ashford, in Hothfield, she went to her favourite place. She went to all her favourite places underneath the wood decking, and it just became second nature. It's just like, I'm home. I've been on a long holiday. I'm home. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I remember Lulu and Claire were really devastated when I took Maya, because they had 3 cats and it was becoming a little bit too much. And I said, look, we'd take Maya, we'd take her to home, we'd take her to Dover. You know, kind of like Mowgli had passed on, and it'd be a little companion for Bobbie. Unfortunately, Bobbie didn't think that way. You're infiltrating my house. So it seems like Maya was settling in for one night, and then unfortunately the back bedroom window was open and she scarpered. And we did see her the following day, sort of like hopping down. And I looked for weeks. We had posters up through the people's doors. I must have printed about 1,000 posters. Nothing. Yeah. And we kind of accepted that maybe she wasn't coming back. And that we were hoping, in my eyes, I was like, well, she's sitting on some little old lady's sofa, you know, while they're eating tea and sandwiches, you know, she's happy. We never really knew, though. We never really knew what really happened to Maya until we got that phone call. And that was a shock. That was a real shock. So cats are funny. Dogs are funny. All animals are funny. Yeah. But I'm glad I was able to get this out, because I needed to talk. I know I'm not talking to somebody. I'm talking to everybody here. It's not a one-on-one. It's one on about 1,000 or something. So that's really nice. But I just wanted everybody to know what the whole situation was. This morning, I don't know how I managed to do it, but for 3 hours, I did a video on treasured memories for Bobbie, with the most, oh my god, emotional, heart-wrenching music you can bloody find on these programs, and lovely video and photos from years. It's a 10-minute video. I'm going to upload it tonight in place of the Blu-ray and Hunting, which I haven't done. So this is like Bobbie's day. This is going to be Bobbie's day. So I really hope you watch it. You might need some hankies if you're attached to animals. But please watch it. And if you can watch it right to the very end, it's 10 minutes. It would really mean so much to us, so that we can get as many likes as we can, and as many views as we can for Bobbie, and send her off over that rainbow bridge with skyrocketing views and thumbs up. Yes. And I welcome any comments. I welcome any comments in the video when I post it. So that'll be uploaded later on tonight. So I hope you, I won't say enjoy, but I hope you appreciate why I've done this video and why I needed to do it. Please like it and share it as well if you can with your friends. Whether it might help anybody that's also lost a pet or going through the same problems. If you can help that way, that'd be great. And I'll see you on the next video. Don't know when that'll be. I mean, there'll be the video uploaded tonight of Bobbie, but there'll probably be another video in a couple of days. So until then, love you, Bobbie.